Good evening. Well, good night. Now, I know I was supposed to be asleep, but most definitely still cannot sleep and going on a day of not sleeping for absolutely no reason at all. But it's okay. Um, I'm aware of, whatever. But I do want to most definitely come on and say that I did not watch the whole case today of YSL. Those were what I pointed out was most definitely just what I grabbed in the time that I was watching it live. However, I did catch up with my colleague and he did a recap, and I do see on the recap that it matches everything that I basically, gave my vision, my opinion on, for sure. And it's exactly what I have been saying, without the long hours of blah. I understand if you actually have a point and it takes a while and it's long and drawn out if you actually have a point, but when you're making up the narrative as you go, that is not right, at the end of the day. And I will say that towards the ending of it, um, I would say it's really, you can just tell it's not a fair trial at all. I'll just say with the documents that was entered on April the 9th, the judge of course overruled the objection of the defense or something in that regard. I'll just talk about what I do know about those documents. Mr. Steele and Mr. Matthew made it plain, because it was already talked about and ruled upon on April the 9th and agreed to that you wouldn't open the door to it. That was supposed to be what it was. You got up there and did exactly that, and the judge don't, for some reason he don't see it, he don't realize it. And that's why I said maybe at this point maybe he do just want to not be presiding or residing over the trial, or if he does, maybe it's just obvious he's siding to one side, because anyone could see that she opened the door right to the very thing that they had the objection over and that they agreed to that they would not cover. So that was wrong, and it was the wrong judgment, in spite of, that's his personal preference to do that, or but the legality of it was, that judgment was wrong based on merit, period. So, and then just the truth of they can't even, you know uh question the witness that they have introduced, of course, to the court. How? I mean, it's just not right. Like I said, I'm all for truth. If you have something, I'm with it. I'm very unbiased. But that right there, that's wrong. And they get away with it every time. It's like they can do whatever they want to do. And that's what their little act and that little show today is. I mean, and then it kills me because people like that will sit up there, they will do all this wrongness, and then when it happens to them they want so much justice, so on and so forth, and it's just not right. This type, I mean, they talk about, the MAGA regime leaders and stuff like that, and then they go and behave in the same way. That's why I always encourage people to stick with to what's true, and not because it's your favorite political party or your favorite person or so on and so forth down the line, because it don't cause any, it doesn't do anything but justify wrongdoing at the end of the day. Somebody is either right or wrong, but standing by someone no matter what, or just because, that's just the whole that's ridiculous. But I have pretty much called this right, this far. I do want to know what's going on with all this. I heard former President Donald Trump say, And I don't know if this is true or not. I know sometimes he go way out, you know, uh, and say things that makes no sense and so on and so forth. But I do want to know why he keeps on saying, that President Joe Biden has pretty much given everything to China. Where does he get that from? Like, is it something that happened, or I'm confused, and I'm more confused on, I do understand, he had some backup supporting him today and everything like that. Members of the House of Representatives was there to support him today during trial, but I do want to know, like, what's gonna happen with everything. Have the well, I see Raskin, and it. I pretty much see some action up in there, but I haven't heard anything about the finances. Everything is important. It's a lot to deal with, but I still haven't heard, too much about our economy. What are the plans for, you know, um, Democrats and Republicans, and how they can come on one accord, to get out of this mess. And if they feel like it's so much of a mess, how do they feel like their plan would be for the betterment of this nation? Democrats and Republicans, because you do have maybe a big deficit, maybe not. I have to catch up with my sources to see what's really been going on. Not that they haven't been consistent, because they're consistent every day. I just haven't been tuning in every day, so on and so forth. But yeah, I would love to know, like, what is really going on around here. Like, if you can make time to be there, um to support him. I know you've heard his plans and what he's planning on doing, so maybe you can speak for him, on that behalf, when it comes to, trying to come to, a solution in some type of way. Um I really do not know what's going on with everything. It's just sad that, well, I'm going to be positive and say I'm hoping that both Democrats and Republicans can come together with a financial plan that will secure all Americans, and not just job layoffs and stuff like that just because people are mad, which when you get into recession, sometimes it is going to be like that. Sometimes they say we're going in there, sometimes they say we're not going in there. Do we really have to be in there, or is this just a matter of I got to get you back, and I don't want you to succeed, because we saw that with the border bill, so on and so forth. And it's just a shame to let your country steady go down a hill just for the sake of, loyalty, so on and so forth. Which I agree absolutely with my colleague. This is another subject. I'm about to jump back on the YSL trial. It's unfortunate how they most definitely try to paint that picture like some type of loyalty and things like that. And it was just so leading and misleading, and oh man, it's just messed up. I don't know. I would most definitely try to get an unbiased judge on that behalf, because it's good that, all has everything noted, and just be, make sure that judge is super unbiased. Like, oh man, it's just messed up. It's just messed up. The extent people will go to make all guilty except for them, when they know that they're the main ones, or the reasons why something is going on, whether it's retaliation or I can't lose my credibility, so on and so forth. It's just crazy. But it'll come back to see them always. Always. It's just unfair that people, freedom and everything like that be is held up just because of this shine people want. But whew, Yes, it's yeah. I just heard the last part, so I just wanted to come on and say that most definitely. And I'm gonna go ahead and pretty much wrap it up. Like I said, I'm tired. I just really don't have any energy right now, but yeah, for sure. For sure. I just wanted to come on and just say that I did see the last part of it, and yeah, that's most definitely he was being very biased. I don't know what the attitude. He's just sick of it all, or somebody gave him a pep talk or something. But that is wild. So, anyways, moving forward, just keep praying. Know that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Say that no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and believe that thing and keep praying, and just don't lose your faith in whatever you're going through. It will get better, and know that it will be better either way it go when you when you surround it, by all things. Just keep on believing for the best, and it shall be so. No weapon formed against you shall prosper at the end of the day. Yep. And this is why I'm getting sleepy. That's why I have no type of energy. Even though it's been like that, I say that and still stay up. I'm just trying to think of anything else I want to say. I think I've covered everything from I've always like from maybe like 3 or 4 months ago, 3 months ago for sure, covered, people talking about how I betrayed people because I told the truth and so on and so forth. I'm not running back through that. I don't care how many times you run it back. I done said what I said pretty much, and took the time out to even explain what I was talking about. So I know I ain't finna run through that again. And that ain't nothing but a lie right there. And then the other part was when it came to I did mention in a live about 16-year olds being consenting to sex or whatever. I don't agree with that. I was just saying for that to even be a subject, let's talk about maybe giving them a better incentive, like encouraging them to vote at the end of the day. Besides talking about sex, I don't agree with pedophilia, none of that. Pedophiles, none of that. That's disgusting to me. I know everything that's been brought up, concerning the celebrity. I said his name earlier. I'm not gonna say his name again, but everything, all those receipts he got caught up with, um, they seem to match what happened. What will it be in the end? We don't know. But I said that his affiliation with that with the reporter, his affiliation with him, I said that no one could elaborate on that or try to make it seem like the reporter is guilty for whatever he's involved with, because we don't know that unless the reporter said. That's all I was saying. Now all that other stuff that he had in that briefcase and that was found that he was carrying, that's like evidence there. And what gets me, when you have evidence that solid, even though this just happened, but it just seems like people will always, that stuff like that, that's like evidence. Besides taking stuff from the past and then making a case, which I see why former President Trump was trying to feel justified. He feel like this happened in the past, but what I was saying on my other video that just did not show up at all was most definitely that where his case differs from YSL case is these the people in YSL case actually did their time, got out on they already did their time, or their charges was dropped, did a plea deal, something within that nature, and then now they're trying to bring it back up. And former President Donald Trump case, it was individuals tried for their crime. Michael Cohen, one of the lawyers that was working with him, he had to serve time, but they're not making him reserve any time. They are trying to make former President Donald Trump serve his time for his actions and what he did. And that's what this revolves around. Because anytime you interfere with an election, that's still like election interference. If you know that you did something, of course you want it. You would try to cover it. Like he said, he did it on his wife's behalf, but then Michael Cohen said he did not do it. It was because he did not want this to go out, per election. Like anybody else wouldn't want something to go out, while they're in the midst of election and so on and so forth. That's understandable. Like I said, politicians do dirt all the time. It's just when you get caught with the ball in your court or in your hand, then that means you got sloppy somewhere or something. Nobody probably would have even thought to investigate it or go into it if you would have just handled yourself in a better situation, because anything could be true, but you can't make it true for me if you really don't have the evidence. But it's yeah, it's I don't, like I say, I haven't looked just real deep into it or nothing like that. So that's all I know just from looking at little shorts and stuff and watching, you know, um, others, talk about it, so on and so forth. But yeah, it's it's unfortunate. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but he definitely that's what got him. It, like I said, if he wouldn't have never came out like all that, he probably would have been okay with some stuff, but them cases just get bigger and bigger at the end of the day. So that's just what it is. It's just good to, have someone to be accountable and lead you in the right way and not the wrong way at the end of the day. It matters. And I used that example with DA Fannie Willis and Judge McAfee earlier, how even though she felt as if it was put together well, he had to go ahead and make that right at the end of the day because it wasn't right. You know, um, that's it. That's all. You have to be, you can't be scared. That's what was making me, just question the judge anyway when Miss Love made him sit down, because it's like, wait a minute. If anything, you're your honor. You supposed to make her sit down. So I kind of, seen how this ball was gonna roll anyway. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here because I'm just doing a lot of blah 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 blah. Even though I had a couple of points, it still just like running all together, and I am really really sleepy. And I don't know if I lay down and go to sleep or not. But either way it go, I had to get on here and most definitely just make sure that I said everything straight, everything right, so on and so forth. Because uh yeah, I'll be tuning in to my colleagues' page for now on, when it comes to what's going on up in there. But I most definitely had called it right because I didn't watch, the ending of it. But most definitely, Mr. Steele and Mr. Matthews hit the nail on the head, period. She most definitely opened the door for that when you knew you weren't supposed to, but then you're going to go ahead and get away with it anyway. Everything be overruled. I'm over it. So they have to get somebody that'll be fair to preside and reside over it. That's gonna be it. Have a good night. Stay focused and pray.